Hello and welcome to TWT Talk with Takaaki. I'm your host, Takaaki. So this channel, I introduce stories from Reddit of Japan, にちゃんねる, in Japanese, and then translate it to English so that you can learn both English and Japanese at the same time. 日本語と英語、両方学べるような、そんなチャンネルとなっております。Alright, so today I have a very heart-wrenching story. It is based on a true story. It is heavy, but you can't read it or hear it without tears. So without further ado, welcome to Talk with Takaaki. This is a true story and a true court case that happened in Japan. 〇〇市〇〇川の河川敷で無職 A 被告が認知症の母親を殺害して無理心中を図ったとみられる事件の初公判が行われた。事件の内容は認知症の母親の介護で生活苦に陥り、母と相談の上で殺害したというもの。A 被告は母を殺害した後、自分も自殺を図ったが発見され一命を取り留めた。A 被告は両親と3人暮らしだったが、過去に父が死亡。その頃から母に認知症の症状が出始め、一人で介護をしていた。母は丸年頃から昼夜が逆転。徘徊で警察に保護されるなど症状が進行した。A 被告は休職をしてデイケアを利用したが、介護負担は軽減せず、9月に退職。生活保護は失業給付金などを理由に認められなかった。介護を両立する仕事は見つからず、12月に失業保険の給付がストップ。カードローンの貸し出しも限度額に達し、デイケア費やアパート代が払えなくなり、翌年1月に心中を決意した。This is a story about a first trial. Defendant A killed his mother, and after killing, he tried to commit suicide, but he was found, and his life was saved.Defendant A was living with his parents, but in the past, his father died, and around that time, his mother started to show the tendency of dementia, and he started to take care of her himself. And from around April, his mother's life, day and night, has switched, changed, and she started to wander around, and the police will often find her and then bring her back to her home. And the dementia was getting worse. And defendant A took a time off from his job and started using daycare, but the burden of nursing didn't reduce. So he left his job in September. And he applied for public welfare, but because he was getting unemployment welfare or unemployment payment, because of that, he wasn't accepted for the public welfare. While he was nursing, he tried to find a job, but he couldn't find something that could do both nursing and working. And on December, his unemployment insurance stopped, and his credit card reached a limit, and he couldn't pay for the daycare, he couldn't pay for the apartment rental. And on January the next year, he decided to take their own lives. It is a tough situation. Okay, moving on. 最後の親孝行に A 被告はこの日、車椅子の母親を連れて市内を観光し、早朝、河川敷の遊歩道でもう生きられへん。ここで終わりやで。などと言うと、母は、そうか、あかんか。A、一緒やで、と答えた。A 被告が、すまんな、と謝ると、母は、こっちに来い、と呼び、A 被告が母の額にくっつけると、母は、A はわしの子や、わしがやったる、と言った。この言葉を聞いて、A 被告は殺害を決意。母の首を絞めて殺し、自分も包丁で首を切って自殺を図った。冒頭陳述の間、 A 被告は背筋を伸ばして上を向いていた。肩を震わせ、メガネを外して右腕で涙を拭う場面もあった。裁判では検察官が A 被告が献身的な介護の末に失業などを得て追い詰められていく過程を供述。殺害時の2人のやり取りや母の命を奪ったがもう一度母の子に生まれたいという供述も紹介。目を赤くした裁判官が言葉を詰まらせ、刑務官も涙をこらえるように瞬きをするなど、法廷は静まり返った。Okay. Defendant A said, "For my last devotion to my parent," and he brought his mother, who's in a wheelchair, and went on sightseeing in the city. And then the next morning, at the riverbanks, he told his mother, "I can't live anymore. This is where it ends." And then the mother replies, "Is that so? We can't do it anymore." "Hey, I'm with you," she replied. And defendant A went, "I'm sorry," to apologize to her mother, and then the mother replies, "Come here." And A puts his forehead to his mother's forehead, and then the mother says, "You are my son, and I will do it." And hearing this word, defendant A makes up his mind, and he strangled her mother's neck, and he cut his own neck to trying to commit suicide. And during the opening statement, defendant A sat up high, looking up. His shoulders were shaking, and he took off his glasses, and he was wiping his own tears with his right arm. And at the trial, even the prosecutors told that defendant A was very devoted to taking care and nursing his mother. And at the trial, even the prosecutors stated the gradual steps that drove him into a corner when he was devotingly taking care and nursing her mother, but with the unemployment. And they stated some testimonies from defendant A of the murder. "I did take my mother's life away, but I want to be born to my mother again." The judge's eyes were red from holding back his words, and the prosecutors, they were blinking a lot from holding back their tears as well. And the court fell silent. This really makes me think about life. I wish there were some communal support and he had somebody to talk to. What do you think about it? Let me know in the comments. Alright, so today it was a very heart-wrenching, deep thought-provoking story from Japan. So, as always, 2 Japanese words. One very generic and one very Japanese. The first one is 警察, police. If there's something, you will always go to 警察. And there are what we call koban, a small station all over Japan. So if you have some trouble, if you have minor problems, go to 警察 or visit a koban and tell them what's going on, and they will help you. The second Japanese is 親孝行, or we will use it as 孝行. 孝行 means a devotion. It can mean giving back in any ways, but devoting, the care, it means a lot. The devotion, giving back, thankfulness to your parent or parents. That is a very Japanese concept. 親孝行. That's it for today. I hope we learned some Japanese phrases or Japanese words. I don't know where you're at, what time zone you're at, so good morning. And in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Bye.